Imagine a virus that studies our defenses like homework, and then turns our answers against us. They named it Echo because it repeated what it learned louder. At first, it behaved like any other viral outbreak: fever, cough, confusion. But clinicians noticed something strange. The symptoms would shift subtly with each patient. Antibiotics that slowed one infection were useless against the next. Treatments that worked in one city failed in the next. Patterns emerged, and not chaos, not randomness. A running set of changes that suggested memory. How could a virus remember? It didn't in the human sense. It exploited a brutal biological shortcut: diversity. Echo produced tiny variations. The variants that survived got copied. But here's the twist. Those survivors also carried molecular notes that made subsequent infections better at dodging our defenses. Each patient became an unwitting teacher. We rushed lab work, mapping genomes in frantic nights. The sequences told a story: small edits in surface proteins, clever rearrangements in how the virus presented itself to immune cells, and a modular set of tools Echo used depending on what it met. When met with antibodies, it hid. When met with antivirals, it shifted shape. It was adaptable, a biological hacker. So where did it come from? The leading theory points to a crowded environment, where many species and many viruses mingle. A lab or market where pressures forced rapid adaptation. Not a neat conspiracy, but messy biology. Too many opportunities, too little oversight. But every learner has a weakness. Echo relies on patterns. When scientists stopped feeding it the same predictable pressures, when they used multi-pronged, rotating treatments and targeted the virus' communication signals, they created conditions Echo couldn't easily echo back from. It bought time that saved lives. That doesn't mean we're safe. A learning pathogen scares us because it forces constant innovation. It turns medicine into a chess match where the opponent rewrites the rules. But that's also where we get creative. Surveillance that watches for subtle changes. Treatments that adapt faster than the virus. And public health that treats outbreaks like intelligence problems, not just biology. If you want the visual deep dive, genome maps, clinic timelines, and the exact protocol that slowed Echo, subscribe now and I'll drop part 2 with graphics and annotated timelines. Comment below. Would you want total transparency from labs even if it meant painful trade-offs? I'll pin the best answers. Smash like, subscribe, and ring the bell. If you want more real-life horror that reads like sci-fi, this channel is where it drops. Share this with someone who loves dark science.